Hey, Matt and Josh, DC News of the Week, but first,
Your new multi-vendor marketplace, YouSellComics.com, offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect, sell.
uh, Blue Beetle seems to be already dead in theaters, which is unfortunate because it's one of the better DC efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Report yesterday. Blue Beetle, Warner Brothers may have already given up on the latest DC movie based on rumored digital release date, which is pretty soon. Blue
Crazy.
Beetle opened to 25 million at the North American box office, and all signs point to being another DCU flop. The movie only cost 120 million to produce, but Blue Beetle also opened to just 5 figures in many countries, suggesting the international box office will be unable to save it. In the U.S., Warner Brothers has blamed its performance on the weather, which is one of the weirdest. Is that not one of the weirdest things to blame? Like,
Yeah.
yes, there was
Blame the weather,
flooding,
literally.
massive flooding in California, and I guess California is like the third largest economy in the world. I don't think that really killed. Like, there's Canada, the rest of America with 250 million people. It was a weird thing to blame for the box office. With a 77% Rotten Tomato score, it's a shame to see the year's best reviewed DC title struggle in its way. But has Warner Brothers already given up? If so, that's massively disappointing. But new rumor suggests the current plan is for Blue Beetle to hit digital on September 19th. So what is that? 5 weeks
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the Flash was, I think, 30 days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a bit longer than the Flash. Um,
Gave it a little bit of extra juice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, it's a fine movie. It's not mind blowing, but it's definitely not unpleasant to watch. Some
Mm-hmm.
of the action's good. The third act is good. Zolo's pretty good as Blue Beetle. So and George Lopez is good. We already kind of talked about that in another video, but yeah, I don't know. Like, people are just kind of done with. They want to see the new toy, the new universe. So, I mean, what's Aquaman 2 gonna do? Like, now that Dune is out of the way because they pushed Dune 2 to March,
I saw
maybe that
that.
gives it a bit Aquaman 2 a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, I would say so, but I mean, we're at what now? It's supposed to be 5 weeks until Aquaman.
Is that
Am
that
I
soon?
wrong?
I thought it was end of November.
Uh,
Oh, it's December 20th.
oh,
So when was Dune 2 supposed to come out? November, though. Oh, so maybe it's not gonna. Oh, yeah, okay. It was 6 weeks ahead. Oh, so Dune 2 had nothing to do with.
yeah.
Um,
Never mind.
what else is in December though around? Because they usually have, like some Oscar contenders around. Why can't
Yep.
I spell?
It's okay.
Around Christmas, usually there's like it's been a Tarantino movie or a Scorsese picture or something. Comes out Christmas Day. Coming out in, wow, really nothing. Oh, okay. Wonka is still supposed to come out. I don't think they've pushed that yet. That's a week before. Maestro is coming out on Netflix. Um, Rebel Moon Part 1, baby. On Netflix. Which, did you see that Zack Snyder's already talking about a rated R cut? It's on Netflix. Why wouldn't it be rated R in the first place?
That's. I literally thought the whole reason why he made this movie is because he went to Star Wars and said, "I want to make an R-rated Star Wars,"
Yeah.
and they were like, "No," and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go to Netflix then," and I thought it was supposed to be R-rated.
Yeah.
There's
Color.
stormtroopers in it and lightsabers.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Dragons and whatever. Color
Holy
Purple
Christ.
is coming out on Christmas Day, as well as the biopic Ferrari with Adam Driver.
Mm,
And then
right.
there's a George Clooney movie called The Boys on the Boat, which I have never heard of. I've heard of Ferrari. But we haven't even had a trailer for Ferrari or Boys in the Boat yet. But so it's got a little bit of competition. Um, oh, there's a weird biopic of the Von Erichs, the
Oh,
Iron
really?
Claw. Oh, with Jeremy Allen White. Really? That might be interesting
That's
to watch.
Boys on the Boat is a story about the 1936 Olympics rowing crew.
Sounds like exciting stuff.
Riveting.
Um, okay, moving on. DC Studios, James Gunn shares update on DCU's chronology. Will the WGA strike delay the entire slate? Well, of course it will.
Yes.
It's just been a shy of 7 months since DC Studios unveiled its Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate. The WGA and SAG-AFTRA really strikes, and SAG-AFTRA really strikes couldn't.
Another one there. Yeah.
Couldn't have come at a worse time for the newly formed production company. Some breathing space between DCU's end and DCU's launch is a must, of course, and 2024's only movie is going to be Elseworlds title Joker Folie Adieu. We had, however, expected a Creature Commandos and perhaps even Waller to be released on Max next year. I know they finished their lines for the animated stuff, but animation takes a bit. So...
Yep. Yeah.
Although the animators aren't union, so I don't know how that's going to work. As things stand, it's hard to predict when we will see those, but James Gunn does now offer an update. In terms of chronology of this shared world, the filmmaker reiterates that Creature Commandos takes place prior to Superman Legacy. When it comes to projects beyond those, Gunn confirms that nothing else is finished or being written. That's understandable given the strikes, but this is an issue DC Studios could do without. With concerns that the strike could last well into next year, Superman Legacy is set to begin shooting in January. Oh, that's not going to happen. It's hard not to wonder whether the rest of the DCU slate won't get going until 2027 or beyond. Oof. If all the future projects aren't even written yet, never mind cast, then delays like this are definitely going to sting. Ultimately, it might only be a difference of 6 months or so, and there's a chance these studios always plan to take its time rolling these movies and TV shows out. Regardless of these strikes slowing things down. I mean, they're going to bleed money for another 2 or 3 years before something comes out.
Yeah.
Like, Superman won't come out till 2027? Is that what it won't get going? So maybe let's see what,
It'll be a while.
There's no way it's getting shooting in January, so maybe by summer. So if it's shooting by summer, 4 months of production or filming, I don't know, another 6 to 8 months of, so maybe Christmas 2025, or
I could see that. Like, that would be pretty close.
Yeah.
I think
they won't dump
anyway.
it in January, February. So if it was going to push to 2026, it'd probably be March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Okay. Bo-Katan actress Katie Sackhoff wants to play Poison Ivy, but thinks Karen Gillan will get the role instead. Back in the spring, rumors surfaced that James Gunn and Peter Safran's newly created DC Studios was looking to develop solo movies for Batman Rogues, Clayface, and Poison Ivy.
Wow.
I didn't know the Poison Ivy one. We had talked about Clayface, and I think Matt Reeves wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Although Clayface and Poison Ivy projects were not announced during Gunn's YouTube video revealing the Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters slate, he later confirmed via Twitter that the video announced less than half of all the projects that are currently developing. Shortly thereafter, actresses Katie Sackhoff and Karen Gillan both voiced a desire to play Poison Ivy in separate interviews. It seems Sackhoff eventually caught wind of Gillan's wish and recently admitted that while she still wants the role, Gunn is more likely to choose Gillan due to her connections from Guardians. We just had a video this week about Gunn friend casting, so...
Excuse me, yes, exactly.
Liz and I saw Karen Gillan wants to play her too, and like she's got a closer in than I do. So I feel like that's a given. I feel like they have got no horse in that race if Karen wants to play that character, but God, I love her. I can't be mad at her. She's fantastic. She is fantastic. Yeah,
Jesus.
It depends on the age of Batman that they're doing. Whether Katie Sackhoff, like if they're doing an older Batman, they could do an older Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
But if
I feel like she. Okay, nobody crucify me for this. Okay. I think she is a great actress, has amazing chops, and is beautiful. but I don't think her current age would be good if they were to do anything other than like a not older Poison Ivy, but
Right.
a
Well, we also have to.
mid.
It's going to be 10 years, right? So Karen
Right.
Gillan's
So no.
35. Katie
No.
Sackhoff
I think she's older, isn't she?
is 43.
Yeah.
So
No,
you'd be
it's
looking
not.
at, well, if they don't start filming for 2 years, she'd be 45, she'd be 55, between 55 and 60 by the time DCU was done, or at least rebooted. And Karen Gillan would be mid 40s by the time it would be done. So
Yeah.
if they were starting right away, maybe now, I would say sure, she throw her ring in, her hat in the ring. But
Yeah.
I think it's just going to take too long to get going. That they might need a younger actress. She can play someone else though if she wants. I'd be totally fine with that. Although, given the rumors that Mando season 4 is going to be about Bo-Katan and not
Yeah, there's
Zaren.
that rumor's pretty hard.
Plus, I expect her to be in that Filoni movie to tie it all up, so she might be pretty
for
busy,
sure.
anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, Jason Aaron. We talked about a couple of weeks ago that he was done with his contract at Marvel, and he was going to be going over to DC. We've got kind of his first project over there. Jason Aaron takes Batman Off-World in clever new limited series. Fresh off fan favorites on Marvel, runs on Marvel Comics main Thor and Avenger titles, Jason Aaron is now writing DC Comics book Batman Off-World. Jason Aaron's exclusive contract is now over at Marvel Comics after 15 years. He actually started out as DC at DC, and the talented comic writer has decided to become a free agent. One of the first projects he's announced is a 6-issue limited series with Doug Mankey titled Batman Off-World. He's also teased that he's developing some creator-owned titles as well. The limited series will see young Batman venture to an alien galaxy for the first time without any of the Justice League members in tow. It's a very clever premise and looks to explore something rather rarely tackled in Batman's long and varied mythos. Yeah, that's true. On a Substack newsletter Aaron wrote, I've mentioned here a few times that I've been working on a lot of different projects since my Marvel exclusive ended. It's probably not a complete shock that one of them would wind up as being a Batman book. Seemed the right way to finally make my proper debut as a DC writer. So we got kind of, I think this looks like a first cover, maybe. Aaron added Batman Off-World is drawn by a legendary Doug Mankey, who I've wanted to work with for years now, along with inker Jamie Mendoza. Batman Off-World #1 will be coming your way November 21st. And I'll be over here working on even more of those new projects. So we got a couple of...
Pretty cool cover.
I definitely like this one. This one's good.
This one is dope.
So he ripped off, like, there's no head in there, so he ripped off the cowl. Batman Off-World is priced at $3.99 for standard version, $4.99 for cardstock. November 21st. Yeah, so that's your, like, DC news of the week. Appreciate the like, follow, subscribe, I guess. Check out usellcomics.com. What are you doing? Are you doing a window?
Did a heart.
Was that a heart? It more looked like a square.
Okay.
Okay, Josh is going to work on his shapes. We're going to go back to that, and we'll be back next week. Thanks.